Brandon O'Doy, footballhotbed.com, here with American Heritage Plantation, Chad Wilson, defensive coordinator. Coach, state championship, year in, year out. You had one slip up under your tenure. In this situation, now you come back, you have all these highly recruited, highly touted guys. The defense, some people think it could be the best in the country. What do you think about it?
Oh, well, that's always our goal, just to try to be the best in the country. But to do that, you got to be the best in this area, because we really feel like, some of the greatest football in the country is played here. So if we could dominate here, we've got a really good chance to be the best in the country.
What do you do at Heritage when it comes to just developing players, not only, the things that you do, like with your defensive backs, all eyes DB, you have Coach Mike, his performance. What do you do? What's the key? What's the secret to getting these kids better? Because it seems like when kids go to Heritage, a couple years go by and then they're bigger, faster, stronger, and there's a development plan there. So just let us know what that is.
Well, from that standpoint, we have probably the best off-season conditioning program out of any of the schools, and so that's a really big key for us. Mike Smith D2D performance is at our school, getting the kids ready with lifting weights and running and all. That's a big part of the puzzle. And then for the rest of us, it's just using the experience that we have playing the game and bringing it back to these kids and then instilling it in them. Technique, fundamentals, being very strong on that and making sure that they have everything they need for as long as they want to play this game.
Now, I know you're the defensive coordinator, but let's talk about the offense. You got a new quarterback coming in, Cam. He was at the other American Heritage. He comes in, you got a few pieces that you got to put together at, wide receiver outside of Anthony Schwartz, who, the whole nation knows because of his speed. But where's the emphasis going to be on offense and, with Miles Jones and, the other running back, Jordan. It's one of those situations where you've got some pieces, but there's also going to be some rebuilding on that offensive line. How is that?
Yeah, look, a lot of times people want to talk about the skill position players because they get all the glory, but it's always been up front with American Heritage. So it starts there, getting the offensive line to work the way that they need to work to open the holes for the running backs and protect the quarterback so that he can get the ball to the playmaker. So we really feel like we've done very well with that we can replace the guys that were doing so well for us last year. So it starts there, and then now the guys that you mentioned can just go out and do the things that they do. Miles and Schwartz and the new quarterback Cam Smith and Jordan Johnson, I can go on and on. But for those guys to operate and do the things that excites everyone else, we got to be great up front, and we think that we can be that.
So now you look at this district. It's a toss-up to me, whether 6A with Northwestern, Carroll City, Central, and what you guys deal with Cardinal Gibbons and who's greatly improved, Jackson, a team that's developing Coconut Creek, and then you have some others that are vying in that district. And we talk about Stranahan, how they've improved. What do you guys have to do to stay the alpha dogs in that? And particularly from Gibbons, you got to go there this year to play them during the regular season. What do you got to do to stay on top of this district?
Not take anything for granted. We've been the big dog in the district for quite some time, but you got to also remember that teams just aren't going to let you continue to beat them and be better than them and dominate them year after year. So you got to understand that they're out there doing what they need to do to try and topple us off the top of the mountain. So we come into it with that mindset, knowing that everyone's gunning for us, and if we can keep that in our minds and our hearts, and we can go out and do what we need to do to continue to stay on top in the district.
You have so many high recruited guys. You probably have 4 or 5 five-star kids, which is something I've never seen since I've been covering football. All the scouts, all the distractions, the opening, the camps, how do you keep the kids focused to accomplish really what you need to accomplish on the football field?
It's just remembering what has been set up before they got there and what they've seen leading up to this point. There's a lot of tradition at American Heritage. There's been a lot of guys before them that have done this. So if they could, and then the other thing too is that a lot of those guys come back and talk to the players that are there now about how they need to carry on the tradition. So that's a good part of it. We're there to remind them over and over about the things that you need to do and what it took for you to get there and how you're going to stay there. And they've, by and large, they've done a good job in taking the lessons and applying them.
Nationally rated, perennial champion, 5A powerhouse, American Heritage Plantation, defensive coordinator Chad Wilson. Check him out at gridironstuds.com. For now, I'm Brandon O'Doy, footballhotbed.com, and it's a hotbed world.